See what you've done? I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are, but you may want to start changing your ways or changing your name.
You know this person? No, it's just so hilarious. People in Albuquerque, right?
It's an evil world we live in.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
I want to see what you look like under the mask. Like, why are you hiding your face?
I'm hiding my face for the same reason you're wearing makeup.
No way, boy. No way, boy.
No. No, wait.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Oh, I love reading Rainbow. Butterfly in the sky.
Come on.
I can go twice as high.
Let's get it on.
Take a look.
Nigga. My nigga.
Reading Rainbow.
You think it's a game?
I can go anywhere.
Suck my dick. My nigga.
Bob.
Nigga.
Something's wrong with reading Rainbow.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
What's up, y'all? It's Cali West. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling this shit. So, this is gonna be a short one because fucking AT&T, count your fucking days because y'all fucking got my internet tripping. But check this out, we can go straight into it. So I don't know if y'all heard or if y'all seen, but Tyrese, I guess also known by his real name Tyrese, is now running around wearing a dress. Now, this same man was still crying and quibbling on the internet about how his baby mama was basically getting him for child support and whatnot. And now it looked like he's praying to the nanny goat.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Now, I don't know if Tyrese is in some type of legal trouble or are them child support checks is really kicking in or something. But out of nowhere down, this man's wearing a dress. He's supposed to be from Watts, California. Now he out here wearing a dress like a female.
Emotional damage.
He went from supposedly, saying some funny stuff to DJ Envy's wife, after the whole case or before the case, and now this bullshit. So I am going to show y'all the picture. You already seen the cover. We're going to get to the Simone Biles situation. So it appears that Simone Biles decided to clap back. She went on X, formerly known as Twitter, and basically said with a meme, "Are y'all done yet?" So basically, in a roundabout way, she's saying she really don't give a fuck what y'all hoes got to say. And yeah, Jonathan Owens is the catch for her. So let's just be real, ladies. Just because she's an Olympic gold medalist doesn't mean that she doesn't have to spend the rest of her life with a man of value.
Stop the cap.
It doesn't matter that, Simone Biles is an Olympic gold medalist. You can only go so far in the Olympics. With the NFL, as long as that man stays healthy and doesn't get injured, he could be in there for a little while and make a good amount of money. So, ladies.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Now, let me just play with this little scallywag got to say about their relationship. Check this out.
Today's topic, we're talking about Simone Biles and her husband, even though I don't watch football. So first and foremost, he says that he didn't know who she was. Now that's plausible that he might have not known who she was. But he then says that he saw how many followers she had and she must be good or somebody. Me knowing men and knowing that he's not as popular as she is, this is a way for him to attach himself to something that's even bigger than he is to boost himself up. So it ain't really no love and no real like for this person here. This is all a game. And he let it be known that it was a game of power as he did that interview. Diminishing her publicly, letting the world know he ain't know her, and how she drove 45 minutes to see him, which corroborates him being the prize, as she, who is the 7-time Olympic medalist, pursues Mr. Unknown here. He didn't drive to see her. So what this tells me is that even though she is successful in her field, her self-esteem and her self-worth is not as high as you would think it would be. Because society tells you that no matter what you achieve as a woman, your life ain't complete. And it don't really mean that much unless you have a man. And so women will jump through hoops and hurdles to attach themselves to men who really don't even compliment them. He let the world know how much more mentally powerful he is than she is, because they never cease an opportunity to put themselves on a pedestal to conquer you. Because typically predators have to go hunt for their prey. What he said is the prey just ended right up in his den, and he ain't have to do nothing because he the man. That ain't on him, that's on Simone.
So, what I don't understand and I don't get is, so what if she cherishes the man? What's crazy is this stud muffin or whoever her ass, her voice deeper than mine, yo. And am I wrong, yo? Tell me I ain't lying. Tell me I'm lying. Her voice is very fucking deep as hell.
What kind of shit is that?
Man, you could just tell this same chick has probably picked lesser niggas and probably fell in love with them. I don't really know her status, so I'm not gonna really judge. But I could just tell that chick ain't got no man. Not running her mouth like that. Not a strong man. Not a righteous man. Not a God-fearing man. Not an alpha or whatever you want to call it. As a matter of fact, this same broad try to talk shit about him dating white women. Check this out.
Queen Maker back here, part 3. When I analyze human behavior and human psychology, there's always multiple angles to view things from. And it didn't dawn on me until after I posted the last video, something very critical about his psychology. If you're familiar with me, the Queen Maker, you know I have a book that I wrote called The Game, 41 Shades of Men, The Pursuit to Subdue and Use You. I have every type of as a status for themselves.
Yeah.
I was really
We're not
happy or
advertising.
black as a status symbol. Why is this a book? Chapter 34 is titled The White Girl Man. Why is this important? Because if you understand the psychology of a black male, you understand that white women are seen as a status symbol for black males. So when black males really have not too much.
So hold up. If that book or that chapter is talking about the white girl man, she just contradicted herself, because she says for men without money or men with money, black men with money, that they see white women as a status symbol. So that means that all black men essentially are, a white girl man. This bitch talking some bullshit. I ain't even listen to that shit no more.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
So, what else did we got on our menu? Oh, so basically, we got brothers wanting white girls to be Coretta Scott King or Michelle Obama. I'm talking about Jonathan Majors. He took that major L when he got that conviction, and they're gonna basically give him a sentence in January 2024. Hopefully it's just a suspended sentence or something petty like that. But we're gonna see what New York State got for his ass. But fellas, just don't end up like him. If you want Coretta Scott King, get you a Coretta Scott King. You want a Michelle Obama, get you a Michelle Obama. But there's no way that you can make someone something that they're not. I think it was AMS that I was watching this weekend, and he mentioned something that was very important that kind of stuck onto me. He said, know your tribe, as far as, who you kick it with or who you hanging out with. If you hang out with guys who are into sports, you hang out with guys in sports, if, people who have similar things to you. And that goes with religion and, life habits. Shout out to XL Pro for checking in. Salute to the righteous fear. I appreciate you for checking in. But that's real talk, though, man. Like, basically, when you're dealing with someone, whether it's a relationship, whether it's your friends, you want to deal with someone who has, something in common with you. Because if not, there's always going to be some type of friction or some type of static. And that's basically his problem with Jonathan Majors. He basically, Jonathan Majors is a character too, because if you're listening to the conversation, come on now, you expect them to act like a black woman? No, if you want a chick who acts like a black woman, get you a black woman. Or at least get you a white woman who at least acts black or something. But why not just get the real thing? Why go and get the fake thing, You might as well just go with what you know. Well, not go with what you know, but maybe go for what it is. If you're gonna date with a black woman who has blonde hair and all that, might as well get a white girl with blonde hair. Just go straight to the source. And if you can't afford it, get your money up so you could get what you want. What's up, Sigma? Right in the TBAs. Thanks for checking in, my G. Salute. Thanks for tuning in. So, yo, I don't know if y'all before. I don't know if y'all fellas ever experienced this before, but I know I have. Have you ever dated a woman or dated a few women, and then they ended up like you took them somewhere, and then you end up seeing them on Instagram or on social media, taking somebody to the same spot that you took them to? Well, check this shit out.
I've ever had in my life.
I'm not gonna lie, this is the best chick I respect. Glad I took you here. Smell the rose.
Hey, this is the best food I ever had in my life.
I told you.
Thank you, babe. Here, take that. You alright, babe?
I always get the chicken and fries.
The rose is cute.
It smells great. We should
Thank
smell
you.
it. You like it?
The best food ever.
Yo, did you just see what happened? He took 2 chicks in a row, and both them chicks took another ninja to his chicken spot. Yo, that's a cold thing. So now when you go get your little chicken, now you gotta see the girl that you used to fuck with a whole another nigga, dog. Yo, that's why I don't take the girls to my usual spots. If I go out on a date or if I'm dealing with somebody, you know what I'm saying, on some lovey-dovey shit, I take them far out. You know what I'm saying?
Who?
Yeah, I said it on some lovey-dovey shit. Not saying I'll be, lovey-dovey, but if I want to kind of go vibe with somebody one-on-one and I take them away from my hoes, I don't take them to the same spot where my hoes be, you know what I'm saying? Or where I find my, mental sanctuary at, because guess what? They're going to end up blowing up your spot. So, that's just a lesson learned. And sisters, I got something for your ass. Anyone watching this shit, y'all gonna love this here. Check it.
I'm gonna get these in a playlist for y'all. But here we go. Black mothers hate their daughters a lot. I know these are hot takes, but I'm gonna give y'all some examples. A lot of y'all hate your daughters because their fathers actually give a fuck about them and want to be in their lives, and your daddy didn't, so you're jealous. Your daughter could be a prettier version of you, and you resent her because having her is what you blame for why you're not as attractive as you used to be, so you're jealous. A lot of dark-skinned mothers are jealous of their light-skinned daughters. A lot of light-skinned mothers are resentful that they made a dark-skinned baby. A lot of black mothers treat their sons drastically different from their daughters. And that's mostly because all interactions between black women and black men, regardless of the relationship, puts the black woman in a position of submission to that black man, even if it's her own child. But pretty much all interactions with black women and every other demographic is transactional. They only want to interact with us to get something out of us. So, when a black woman has a daughter, best believe that that little girl has to earn her keep in that household with that black woman. Her life can't be no crystal stair. And one of y'all better get that reference. You better get it. That all being said, though, no woman gets less grace than a black mother.
Yo, she was speaking some real shit, real talk. You know what I'm saying? Them sisters don't want to hear that shit. So listen, yeah, you know what? And it's so crazy because look, sisters, they're exposing themselves. So look what they got to say about dating the white brothers. Check it.
Women, if you want to date outside of your race, you need to be disciplined. When they say we're going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, you better be up at 5 o'clock getting ready. They are not going to deal with the lack of discipline, and what we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. And what we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. What we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that.
You have a choice. Either self-improve and get your passports, or continue to put up with whatever black men put up with that other men don't have to put up with.
Yo, that's a fucking cold thing to hear her say that. But yo, I mean, it's something that we already knew, but it's just good to hear it from the, from the horse's mouth. But she basically admit everything that we already knew. When they want to compete against white men, they want to pull out all stops, whether it's losing weight, whether it's taking out the weave, whether it's installing a weave, whether it's going natural, whether it's wearing a lot of makeup. They will do what it takes to land a white man. Because the truth is, just like that little, the queen faker said earlier, about men, the truth is white men are a status symbol for black women. Let's just be real. Let's just keep it a buck. We know it's true, because think about it. Why do black women want to wear blonde wigs? The blonde color. Yeah, they could say that they like the color or whatnot, right? That's surface level. But deep down, they kind of wish that they're a white girl. They wish their skin was lighter. They wish that they could be with that white man. And when that white man gives them a little bit of attention, they'll do what it takes to keep that attention. And you know what? I'm not knocking anyone for dating white men. That's cool. I just have a problem with the sisters who were dating black men and now they decide to, date white men after they done hit the wall, because they almost kind of make, black women look bad, because if you're at least going to be a black woman who's going to at least come at a white man, and I'm not saying just any old white man, but maybe a high value white man, you should at least come correct. How you going to come with somebody else's kids? Truth is, you probably wouldn't even be in the same spaces with those men, but that's another conversation. That's neither here nor there. So check out what this chick got to say. And it's funny because, a broken clock could be right twice a day, but this chick is dead wrong this time when I seen her video. So check it.
Should have another. If you are the mother of a nigga child, I don't think you should have another man at your house.
At my house, and you pay bills in my house?
I mean, I help you.
When I need help.
Right.
But I can't have a nigga at my house.
Because I feel like he can do it. It's a shortcut. Why you calling me? He right there.
Why I can't get help from both of y'all? Because you my baby daddy.
That's really kind of like, that's soft taxing and finessing, though.
I got
and that's unfair to the mother of my child who I'm with now.
How?
That's not right.
Why?
That's extra shit.
Okay, your baby mama, right? What exactly are you doing for her household?
Whatever she need me to do. If she needs some help,
lights, groceries,
whatever she needs from me.
She need the help.
Baby daddy, I need woo. I'm short $150. I need $25. Zelle me this. Whatever. I never say no. I always give it to her.
So because you do that, she can't have a nigga at the house?
No, it's just not right. He should be providing a shelter for you. You should go to his house.
And he's right. Because at the end of the day, why should you be breaking your pockets and, giving her money, and then she's coming up with extra money? At this point, she's literally double dipping.
Emotional damage.
And who really wants to deal with that? Who wants to be basically used? Because essentially that's what you're doing. You're being used. I mean, yeah, maybe you and your baby mama didn't work out or whatever. But at the end of the day, why does she need all this extra help if if she got time to lay down with another man, she got time to make that money and not ask me for nothing. Straight the fuck up. Like, don't ask me for shit, especially if you're just my baby mama. I'm not saying that if you're just my baby mama, that's a negative, but at the same time, it comes with conditions. I mean, if I'm breaking you off, at this point, if that man is all that, he should be able to cover both stops, not just dick you down and, keep you digmatized while you go and use me like a sucker. And then at that point, you probably already got a kid around, you probably got another kid around, my child or whatever. And that's a whole nother dynamic in itself as well. It's not only taking my money, but then you exposing my kids to like another man, because you probably creeping in at night, but guess what? Kids wake up and see people and all that stuff, and that memory never, comes out of the mind. But like I said, that's a whole other conversation in itself. But unfortunately, it's crazy because Black women do not want their men to cheat, but they're the ones who basically practice polygyny more than anybody else, having a multiple baby daddies. That's literally polygyny. Am I wrong?
Emotional damage.
But, unfortunately, that's kind of the problem in the community. And that's kind of why it's best for a lot of brothers to leave it, because at the end of the day, there's almost no, there's no logical conversation about it when you start discussing, how to remedy and resolve the issues. And, next episode, I'm going to play some things about the Black community and about basically how, a lot of Black people think that, people, Black people want to be, MAGA or want to go Republican and stuff. It's something new. But if you look through history, Black people were once not only Republicans, but not just in the back in the day, but in the recent future and recent times, like I'll say in the 60s, there was a Black middle class, and they actually had a lot of problems with dealing with the Black lower class. Not because they hated them, but they felt that if they intermingled, basically, they'll basically bring them down. And I know it sounds fucked up on the surface, but at the end of the day, you got the Black middle class. These people are working hard. These guys are carpenters. They're like engineers. They're doing all this type of stuff and, doing what it takes to, have part of the American dream before civil rights movements. And then they had to deal with Black people from the South. And let's just be real, a lot of these people who are coming from the South were unfortunately not families with men leading the families to bring them up down south. A lot of the people that came down south with their mother. And that's real. And y'all could do the research on it. But a lot of the people that came from down south into the northern states like New York or going to like the west like California and Chicago, a lot of those were single mothers who are taking their kids up to the city for a better life, especially after the Civil Rights Act, when Black women were finally able to get welfare. Check it out. But anyway, I ain't about to hold y'all up. Like I said, AT&T, count your days. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to come out and fix my shit tomorrow. So hopefully I'll be on a little bit longer and I can kick on a longer stream than tonight. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Next time I'm gonna keep it real. So I thank y'all for keeping it real. Once again, like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling this shit. And I hope y'all have a good night. Bless. Peace.